Welcome to the Earth Goodwill Project. This discussion covers profound paradigmatic shifts in consciousness that are occurring across all levels of society, its cultures and systems during the 2020 to 2024 shift of the ages. So this transmission also includes an analysis on how chaos systems create disorder and bring collective society and all its systems back into eventual order. We also navigate how humans can take advantage of this once in a lifetime or once in a 24,000 year period of evolution as the unpredictable chaos energies assist humanity to develop advanced intellectual and spiritual gifts, enabling the global collective to achieve unparalleled leaps in personal development while sparking an evolution of the human mind. This video is discussed from an Australian context. Truth is universal, so the findings and lessons will remain the same for every person, region and country. One of my most passionate topics of discussion has always been chaos theory and complex adaptive systems. I've always been keenly interested in forecasting and how unfolding changes at the beginning of the Age of Aquarius would affect all natural systems, organisations, cultures and people, particularly from the 20 to 2024 period. My knowledge of such topics is informed by my work and studies within the sciences, the healing arts, the technologies and the arts sectors. Humanity and all sentient beings at this point in time are experiencing profound shifts in consciousness. Lightworkers have known this since the 1960s. The original lightworkers spoke of these events in their musings in the 1800s and early 1900s. It has been noted that unpredictable changes create unexpected surprises and opportunities for people who operate on the edge of chaos. This scientific principle is also true during the events from 2020 to 2022. We also highlight in this video the importance that all artists, musicians and lightworkers play in this unfolding golden age. The arts and music is well known to elevate vibrational frequencies, creative thinking in all sentient beings. And healers and meditators have the ability to elevate their consciousness and energy bodies to higher realms and spread this light and high vibrational energy to everyone and every being around them. Events that have transpired from 2019 to 2021 can be best understood by reflecting on chaos theory. So the term chaos commonly refers to a state of disorder. Current global events from 2020 to 2021 reflect a complete state of disorder. So chaos theory occurs when dynamic systems such as the Earth's ecosystem is subjected to random states of disorder. Earth is normally governed by deterministic laws and underlying patterns and is highly sensitive to initial conditions. The external noise of random events such as pandemics or mandatory health orders or lockdowns, they influence dynamic human ecosystems and can vastly change the trajectory of the overall systems on Earth. Traditionally, complex systems have observed to contain repeating patterns, iterative feedback loops, interconnectedness, fractals, self-organisation and self-familiarity. These were the known knowns and repeating daily rituals of everyday life prior to 2020. Within biological systems, it's been noted that small changes in one state of a deterministic non-linear system, such as errors in measurement of, say, health data or pandemic-related mathematical models, can result in a chain of events with diverging differences in later states of that system. Hence, making predictive analytics and behavioural mathematical modelling in today's world a near impossible task. This is due to the significant increase in parameters and unknown knowns. So the chaos principle is commonly referred to as the butterfly effect due to the physical representation of Lorenz Attractor points and trajectories within a computer simulation. So strange Lorenz Attractors are found in chaotic solutions observed in 3D spaces and non-time-based non-linear spaces. Technically, time doesn't exist here on Earth, it's just a linear model that we measure events by. So this model of chaos behaviour follows a unique evolution determined by initial conditions. So in 1963, Edward Lorenz helped pioneer this chaos theory with his work predicting wind turbulence when he was predicting weather patterns. And he noted that when he rounded variables up, the results from the computer simulations drastically changed the outcome of his models' weather predictions. So Lorenz found that small changes in initial conditions produced significant changes in forecasting precise long-term predictions. So in chaotic systems, if evolving variables often repeat themselves outside a sequence, they repel rather than attract. So this divergent behaviour results in chaos. So with the Lorenz Attractor, it's chaotic and strange, and there's no loop, and the tangents, they never interact with each other. So they're unpredictable, and their outcomes become so wide and divergent. This is reflected in modern day society as a case study, with the protests that held across the world as governments and police bodies and health systems that once served masses operate outside their initial parameters, resulting in chaos and eventual system collapse. In essence, an ability to predict future scenarios, say through predictive analysis or mathematical modelling or clairvoyance, will always fail during times of chaos due to imperfect knowledge of initial conditions or parameters that initially cause the chaotic conditions. In this scenario, the full truth of the origin, intentions, and actors involved in creating and distributing the bug that's floating around the world are yet to be known. The truth on which agents are responsible for the chaos and the proposed solutions on how to effectively manage the system bugs, the matrix bugs, is creating wide variations in opinions and non-unified response from the masses on Earth. It appears various trajectories randomly change direction and never arrive at their destination twice. So when a computer calculates each subsequent point based on the previous point in a Lorenz model, there's no repeating pattern. So if you have, say, 1 million points on a computer simulation, soon a discernible pattern will emerge, and this is known as the Lorenz Attractor, and it's noted in this visualization. So it has been scientifically observed that outside trajectories speed off in indiscernible and random directions. Subsequently, all the points that begin with defined parameters will fall into order and appear within the attractor, allowing each subject to follow a unique indefinite path. So each trajectory leads to widely different future scenarios. So in this scenario analysis, the trajectory may represent a human being on Earth during each time period, and they all going on widely divergent paths based on the chaos theory. So this is commonly referred to as the edge of chaos, and the dynamic interplay and transition between space, order, and disorder. Order and self-organization emerges and is maximized at the edge of the boundaries of chaotic systems, resulting in rapid rates of evolution of systems and the species that reside within them. Rapid evolution of Mother Earth, all sentient beings on Mother Earth, the trees, the lakes, the animals, and human beings. So this concept was theorized by physicist Norman Packard in the 1980s. So various social, biological, ecological, political, financial, health, industrial, financial, educational, government, commercial, military, and other systems have the potential to evolve where iterative feedback mechanisms are embedded into their modes of communication. That means governments or organisations must factor in people's feedback and points of view when introducing changes during these chaotic periods of time. How this theory applies to current global energies is that various systems that embed transparent and ethical feedback systems into their modes of operation, receiving communications from their constituents, members, consumers, and clients, will benefit from the profound evolutionary changes that are taking shape across the Earth during this golden age. This feedback model ensures that the system can course correct and readjust to collectively face the true north. The feedback mechanism is a key component of all human-centered and user-centered design systems, and it's embedded in all successful organizations, cultures, and technologies. So these rapid leaps in evolution are available to individuals and organizations that are at the most adaptive to change, while they exercise flexibility, agility, creativity, and innovation. And the models that are noted to succeed the best are those that operate with decentralized models that are non-hierarchical, bottom-up, cross-functional, and contain organizational matrix type systems. This complex adaptive system model of business suggests that cross-functional collaborative matrix style organizations and small business and sole operator and micro business styled businesses will rapidly evolve and succeed when operating outside societal norms during periods of societal chaos. But by creating new systems, positive behaviours and cultures, innovative technologies, products and services, the people who succeed adapt at the edge of chaos, and they do so by being adaptable to operating outside societal norms. So you think people like Pink or singers like David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson, Steve Jobs. This process is achieved by self-adjusting one's inner properties, such as adapting a positive, relaxed mindset and deploying a daily clean nutrition exercise regimes during current times. These positive changes will assist the person to evolve their DNA and biological systems and assist to avoid the chaos of external events. So the lesson to humanity relating to 2020 to 2021 pandemic is to respect each human's free will and allow each person to make their own health, career, relationship and social choices, as eventually chaos will be brought back into unity and order. This is a scientific principle. And naturally, it is important to set guidelines for society to follow during a pandemic. It's up to each individual to interpret and act on those guidelines according to each person's unique circumstances, personal health, financial, and other belief systems. One solution is not fit for purpose for the entire human collective. It should also be noted that the free will choices of the collective cannot be predicted. Through time, people sitting on the periphery of chaos, on the boundaries, who make heart and unity-centered choices will eventually rise to the top of society and or their industries and have far better health, career, family, social, financial choices as a result, as opposed to the choices made by the majority of the collective. Another lesson is to reflect upon the law of unintended consequences. So when divergent laws and new rules are introduced into societies to manage, say, a pandemic, then the unintended consequences of such mandates in hindsight become apparent. For example, lockdowns in Victoria, New South Wales, Australia are having the opposite effect of reducing virus numbers. Instead, virus numbers are escalating as people are being locked in their homes for months on end, with reductions in fresh air, sunshine, exercise, work, social interactions, and this appears to be causing them severe health distress and a sense of hopelessness. Consequently, appears to weaken their immune systems, and immune compromised people, it makes them more susceptible to bugs floating around the Earth's matrix. When chaos theory is applied to global and in a personal context during 2020 to 2022, the saying is to expect the unexpected. So actors or outsiders that operate on the boundaries of this chaos inherent within society will unexpectedly and rapidly rise to the top of their chosen domains in life. In the process, creating rapid leaps in human consciousness and developments in technological and social systems that govern societies. Moreover, the technological and new social, cultural, educational, commercial, government, financial systems that are being created by actors operating on the periphery of society in this period of uncertainty will usher in a new era of global peace and economic prosperity from the years 2022 to 2030. The new and previously suppressed technologies such as free energy generators, clean water generators, new home designs, advanced energy, medical, healing pods, hovercraft motor vehicles will all become reality over the coming decades. In point of fact, many of these technologies have been suppressed and hidden from humanity for many decades. The advanced clean energy technologies will be released to the masses sometime over the next decade when the systems of patriarchal control collapse. In the years 2022 to 2047, humanity will make additional leaps in consciousness, seeing interstellar space travel become a reality. Advanced space travel technologies already exist in humanity's multiverse. In previous videos I posted in 2020 on this channel, I observed that former incarnated human musicians and famous artists are working on the other side in the celestial realms, assisting humanity to survive and keep their spirits high through the global pandemic. Previously I stated that these light beings working with select humans and helping them to develop new technologies and creative projects to be released during 2021 to 2022 to help usher in a new golden age of consciousness. Initially, I misunderstood what they told me. They told me they were coming back to Earth and they were helping many people on Earth. I thought that they were going to be reincarnating or acting as walk-ins In some cases that has happened, but in most cases they have come in through an unexpected door. So these new positive events and projects will collectively positively reshape humanity and create a new flower power style period of consciousness on Earth, influencing humanity's music, fashion, beauty, design, and in turn flowing into every other area of society. So these proposed artistic events are reminiscent of the seeds of the Aquarian age planted by the hippie movement in the late 1960s, in the periods of around 1967, 1968, 1969. So the former artists who have been helping myself and many other light workers and artists across Earth in recent years to develop the new paradigms and technologies and creative projects, these celestial beings have requested that I share some of their advanced technologies with humanity. They communicate with their human artist counterparts telepathically. Since this pandemic hit in 2020, these light beings have literally been crossing the veil and presenting to me and many other people in their former physical bodies. They have described to me that they are able to travel back from the future in our current timeline via a future multiverse technology that is yet to be developed here on Earth. Personally, I do not have access to this timeline technology, nor do I contain the blueprints to this technology, so please don't hit me up for it. These light being artists physically appear at various power sites across the world due to their high vibrational frequencies that they develop prior to their physical passing. These light beings have access to portals, or some refer to them as wormholes, that enable them to step back in time and utilize the vehicle of their former physical body to present to human beings. On different occasions, these light beings have been in my presence with different dogs, suggesting that other sentient beings have the ability to access this advanced time travel portal too. Technically, these light beings have died in our present timelines, however, in a higher multiverse, their souls are still alive and have the ability to travel back and forth across timelines to communicate with light workers and assist humanity to achieve their highest possible potential during this period of rapid human advancement. Many spiritual aspirants across Earth have, over the past 100 years, have had similar experiences with their spiritual masters and guides who live and operate in the higher celestial realms and physically visit them on Earth. These light beings are utilizing an advanced form of time travel that's different to how people like myself who are alive can access other past and future dimensions and universes via stargates and other technologies. It is no secret to people who genuinely know me that I often time travel to other dimensions and timelines and bring back to my current reality advanced technologies and wisdom that is yet to be developed on Earth. So over the coming decades, most of humanity will also develop similar skill sets and abilities by meditating daily and connecting to their higher soul. So I have created a Lionsgate portal activation meditation. It's freely available on my channel playlist at the end of this video, and that also clearly describes how any person on Earth can develop these advanced spiritual abilities and gifts. The difference between my meditations and spiritual transmissions is my soul blueprint and life purpose is to assist humanity to reach higher dimensions and connect to other multiverses so they can achieve their highest potential. I dedicated my life to this since I was a child, and it's written into my soul blueprint. So the answers to social and health problems lie in Mandelbrot patterns, nature and sacred geometry. So information technologist Bernard Mandelbrot noted recurring patterns that suddenly changed, resulting in different outcomes from the former norm. This is evident with branching of circulatory and bronchial systems of human beings. For example, it's visually similar to the tree branches and leaves. It has been noted that biological systems of a tree mirror the circulatory and lung systems of humans, fitting a fractal model. So nature hints that by humans connecting with nature and connecting with tree spirits is one of the many free and simple methods where we can breathe in fresh clean air and naturally heal damaged lungs and circulatory systems after illness. So in 1962, Thomas Kahn described a systems analysis of chaos theory as a paradigm shift, and this shift in consciousness of society and all its systems are a result of the global pandemic and the corresponding harshly constructed laws erected to control the outbreak in different global regions. Eventually, during all chaotic periods, order is formed from the introduction of the right conditions, and that creates stability in the pattern events here on Earth. So in this case, unity consciousness and non-discrimination of people with opposing views, in addition to inclusiveness and respect towards all members of society, regardless of their divergent opinions or stances on topical issues of the day, is one way to bring disorder and chaos into harmony and unity and order. So when we have new and previously unknown variables that are introduced to social systems, they may create unpredictable trajectories and systems as an outcome. So an example of this would be groups of people social isolating in their homes during lockdowns, as we mentioned earlier, and that causes stress and wide economic losses, subsequent mortgage distress, societal stress, a sense of hopelessness, low self-esteem, potential homelessness, potential unemployment, loneliness, disability discrimination, human rights abuses by police agencies against citizens, mental health distress, alcoholism, possible drug abuse, disengagement from formal educational settings, children, and increases in domestic violence and potential child sexual abuse offences. So the corresponding loss of social and cultural capitals from cities such as Melbourne and Sydney is also unexpected from chaos systems. So tens of thousands of people have been noted to escape their geographical boundaries for a healthier, happier and more relaxed lifestyle in other states and countries. And this is an example of the collective negative effects of strange actors. People who have previously lived in such oppressive situations have a greater likelihood of being hospitalised and potentially die during times of pandemics, especially when they have underlying health conditions or are taking certain medications. Moreover, fear-based messaging and government and media propaganda directed towards citizens have been noted during pandemics to vastly inflate a subject's cortisone levels when these subjects are locked in their homes following health orders and having reduced exercise and reduced fresh air and sunshine. Then that increase in cortisone levels in turn increases inflammation markers in the physical body and can on occasions lead to organ failure and premature death. This is commonly referred to as cytokine storm response, and it's a cascade of exaggerated immune responses in the human organs and the body, and that leads to dangerous health outcomes. Additionally, if one introduces experimental pharmacological type solutions as a promised solution, that can result in changes in the structure of the human DNA, and there are potential negative outcomes for this scenario as well that are yet to be determined. Furthermore, the division of a two-tiered society of haves and have-nots and a pressure cooker of government medical interventions may create irrevocable changes in social structures with yet to be determined divergent outcomes. So these outcomes go beyond obvious economic losses and reductions in economic flows to businesses. One only has to look at events that happened in the 1930s and 40s during World War II with the Nazis and how they treated Jewish people and outsiders in society, homosexual people, and tragedies that occurred in the global war on terror after September 11 suggests that collective society has yet to learn the lessons of their former mistakes. So the introduction of people operating on the periphery of society choosing to deploy alternative therapies such as vitamin infusions, clean eating nutritional programs, intense physical activity regimes, daily meditative and positive affirmation practices, and other alternative therapies such as energy healing, they remain fit and healthy during such pandemics, and this should be considered as a viable alternative treatment therapy to willing subjects of society. So humanity has a lot to learn from outsiders, artists and lightworkers. They operate on the edge of chaos as a general rule and are the vanguards of new and revolutionary modes of thought across the ages, and this has been the case since time immemorial. It is the opinion of this author and many other global lightworkers this out-of-box thinking will result in creating a super race of humans which will activate dormant strands of the DNA and subsequently tap into the inner reserves of strength to survive naturally and beat the bug drifting across the airwaves of Earth. At the very least, this natural-based model will assist different subset of humans to naturally develop immunity as a genetic reserve for future pandemics. And these cellular memories will be genetically passed down through their ancestral bloodlines, benefiting humanity for hundreds of years to come. In the former Golden Ages during Atlantean, Egyptian and Lemurian time periods, they've seen similar groups of actors that operate on the boundaries of society developing extraordinary gifts, talents that are physical, emotional, spiritual, and highly advanced mental capabilities, positioning these people as the leaders of their societies. During these former Golden Ages, the development of spiritual gifts such as telepathy, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, bilocation, quantum jumping, superhuman strength, precognition, and so on were all activated within spiritual aspirants and outsiders that were regular in their spiritual practice. These gifts were previously only accessible to the select few spiritual yogis and spiritual masters on Earth. Once again, they're being reactivated across humanity to many lightworkers and artists and all humanity who seek to achieve their full potential over the coming decades. Many artists and light workers hold the key and light codes to develop and maintain peace and prosperity moving forward into the future, when in fact the dormant DNA codes lie inherent in every single person's DNA. Artists and light workers who are creative, innovative, flexible, and think critically, and who adapt to change, become the anchors of this new golden age of consciousness here on Earth. These light workers are able to capture and transmit higher vibrational frequencies to the rest of humanity. It is vitally important that governments, police, and industry bodies all respect, support, and protect artists and light workers during this transitionary period from chaos to order. Mutual respect and positive support mechanisms will assist light workers and artists to lead the way and usher in a new age of peace and prosperity across the Earth that will last for the coming 24,000 years. So thank you for listening to this Earth Goodwill Project transmission. Thank you also for subscribing to and liking our work. Now, your positive support helps us develop revolutionary new content that support all light workers, tarot card readers, spiritual teachers, healers, healthcare workers, medical personnel, artists, scientists, technologists, creatives, activists, lawyers, and humanity successfully navigate the myriad of changes during these golden ages. So peace, love, and light, and namaste.